Picture this: New York City, 1936. A failed actor-turned-writer sits in a cramped apartment, typing furiously. His savings are gone. His career is crumbling. His marriage is on the rocks. Desperate, he starts teaching a night class on public speaking to pay the bills. But what happens next changes everything. Not just for him, but for millions. That man was Dale Carnegie, and his class became the foundation of a book that sold over 30 million copies. Because it doesn't just teach you how to talk, it teaches you how to live. Welcome to Notebook Nuggets, where we transform big ideas into bite-sized brilliance. Tonight, we were diving into a book that Espen called the grandfather of all self-help, a manual for human connection written in the shadow of the Great Depression, yet so timeless, it's still changing lives 90 years later. Strap in. This isn't just a summary, this is a story about you, me, and the invisible threads that bind us all. Let's start at the beginning. Carnegie's journey began with a simple question. Why do some people thrive in relationships and business while others struggle? He spent years studying history's greatest leaders, Lincoln, Rockefeller, Roosevelt, and discovered something shocking. Their secret wasn't charm, wealth, or genius. It was something far more profound. They understood the human heart. Take Lincoln. After the Civil War, his generals begged him to destroy the South, but Lincoln refused. Instead, he wrote letters praising his enemies. "I destroy my enemies when I make them my friends," he said. Carnegie calls this fundamental technique number 1. Don't criticize, condemn, or complain. Criticism, he argues, is futile. It wounds pride, stirs resentment, and never leads to real change. But here's the twist. This isn't about being nice. It's about being smart. Imagine you're a 1920s tycoon. Your factory manager is lazy. You could scream at him. Or you could pull him aside and say, "Your work's been slipping, but I know that's not the real you. The man I hired was a powerhouse. Let's get him back." That's Carnegie's genius, appealing to nobility instead of attacking flaws. But winning friends isn't just about avoiding conflict. It's about active generosity. Carnegie tells the story of a salesman who hated his client, a grumpy old man who'd snap at anyone who walked in. One day, the salesman noticed a photo of the man's dog. "What a beautiful setter," he said. Instantly, the man's face softened. They talked for an hour about dogs, and he walked out with an order. Why? Principle number 2, give honest, sincere appreciation, not flattery, specific, heartfelt praise. Here's the kicker. Carnegie says the sweetest sound to anyone is their own name. Remember that. Principle number 3, remember names. A waiter once told me, "I've served you before. You're Alex." Right? Extra cream in your coffee. Guess who got a 50% tip? Names are power. They whisper, "You matter." Now let's talk influence. Ever met someone who loves to talk? Carnegie says, let them. He shares the story of a botanist who met a chatty dinner guest. For hours, the botanist listened, nodded, and asked questions. At the end, the guest declared him a brilliant conversationalist. The irony? The botanist barely spoke. Principle number 4, be a good listener. Encourage others to talk about themselves. But here's where it gets spicy. Want to persuade someone? Never say you're wrong. Carnegie tells of a young engineer who discovered a fatal flaw in his boss's design. Instead of confronting him, he asked, "What if we adjusted this slightly to handle pressure?" The boss stared at the plans, then said, "My idea needs tweaking." The engineer let him save face and saved the project. Principle number 5, respect the other person's opinion. Never say you're wrong. By now you're thinking, okay, but what about real conflict? Carnegie's answer is counterintuitive. Start with empathy. A bank teller once caught a forger red-handed. Instead of calling the police, he said, "Your mother would be proud of the person you've become, but not of this." The man broke down, returned the money, and became a loyal customer. Principle 6, try honestly to see things from the other person's point of view. And if you want someone to excitedly agree with you, dramatize your ideas. A struggling ad executive once sold a toothpaste campaign by handing the client a live tortoise. "This tortoise is 150 years old," he said. "It survived wars, famines, but your toothpaste could outlive it." The client laughed. and signed the deal. But Carnegie's most radical idea? Make the other person want to do what you suggest. A factory owner once faced a strike. Instead of threatening workers, he said, "You're right, the wages are unfair. Let's calculate profits together. If I can pay more, I will." They crunched numbers, and the strike ended. Principle number 7, throw down a challenge. People crave purpose, not orders. Carnegie's book isn't about manipulation. It's about authenticity. One of his students, a shy, stuttering man, practiced these principles and became a legendary salesman. How? He stopped selling and started caring. "I realized," he said, "people don't buy products, they buy feelings." So what's the ultimate lesson? Success isn't about you, it's about them. The person across the table, the stranger on the street, the friend who's hurting. As Carnegie wrote, you can make more friends in 2 months by becoming interested in others than in 2 years by trying to get others interested in you. And there it is, not a checklist but a compass. A reminder that in a world of selfies and slogans, the true magic lies in seeing people, truly seeing them, and letting that light guide your way. Before you go, if this video sparked something in you, pay it forward. Hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, and let's keep spreading these nuggets of wisdom. Together, we'll build a community that doesn't just read about connection, we live it. Thank you for being part of this journey. See you next time.